What's going on, guys? It's Andy here. Welcome back to another episode of Painfully Honest Advice. I haven't made a video on this topic recently, and I love this topic. Basically, I'm going to go ahead and break it down, share with you guys the easiest credit cards to go ahead and get in 2021. Some of these cards are going to be secured cards and other are going to be unsecured cards. But guys, I've done a lot of research around this. I've spent probably over a couple hundred hours just to go ahead and do my research, find out what are some of the easiest cards, and because I have some of these cards, I can basically go ahead and tell you guys based on my practical experience how easy some of these cards are to go ahead and get. Now, if you are new to this channel, I do focus on business, personal finance, and investing. I like to go ahead and share with you guys anything to go ahead and make you more money, save you more money, or talking about how to go about building your credit. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below, but let's go ahead and jump in this video. Now, as far as credit, there are two different types of credit cards that you can go ahead and get. There's secured credit cards and there's unsecured credit cards. Basically, the difference is if you have a secured credit card, you have to go ahead and put down a certain amount of money with a financial institution. Based on how much you put down in a security deposit that you do eventually get back, they'll go ahead and give you a credit limit. And that credit limit usually goes ahead and matches how much you put down because the bank doesn't want to take a risk. But at the end of the day, what it does is it helps you build credit. And eventually, usually after 6 to 12 months, you'll go ahead and get your money back in a secured credit card. Now, with a secured credit card, that's one of the easiest ways to go ahead and start building credit. Now, as opposed to that, there are unsecured credit cards, basically where if you have a decent credit score, you can go ahead and get an unsecured credit card. But in this video, I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys both secured and unsecured cards that you can basically get as a beginner if you have no credit, if you have bad credit, or let's say you even have a bankruptcy or you have delinquencies on your credit. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first card, and this is actually the card that I actually started with when I started building credit, which is going to be the Capital One Platinum credit card. Now, here we go. This is the Platinum One credit card. Now, with this card, I actually got this card when I first started off building credit. Basically, some of the things around this card is anybody can go ahead and get approved for this card. This card has no annual fees as well. Now, to go ahead and get this card, this is actually considered a secured credit card. You do have to go ahead and put down either $49 or $99 and you get a credit limit of $200. But once you go ahead and have been using this card every single month for at least 6 months, you can go ahead and get your security deposit back. Now, sometimes it can take up to 12 months, but this is a card that I got approved for instantly. And I can tell you guys, based on doing all my research and actually looking at customer reviews on this card, this is one of the easiest cards to go ahead and get to go ahead and start building credit. Plus, if we go ahead and look at the design of this card, personally, I really like this card because the design is very appealing. Plus, what I'll tell you guys is the difference between a secured and unsecured card. With this card, there's not much. Basically, if you have the unsecured version of this card, it looks the same as the secured version. So if you go ahead and use this in public, people actually can't tell that you have a beginner's type of credit or that you've had bad credit because the card looks the same whether secured or unsecured. To this day, guys, I actually have this card in my wallet and I do still use this card because this is a bank that I actually like as well. Now, jumping into the second card, and this is actually going to be one of the newest cards on the market, which is going to be the Tomo credit card. Now, here it is. Now, I got this card recently as well, and I'll tell you guys, this is probably one of the easiest cards to go ahead and get because they don't even check your credit score. Now, with this card, there's a couple different things that you actually want to know about this card. I did have to go ahead and get on a waiting list. That's probably one of the biggest downfalls with this card is you do have to go ahead and get on a waiting list. I will go ahead and put a link down in the description if you guys are interested in getting this card, but I will say, even if when you're on the waiting list, it takes about 3 weeks to a month, or at least in my case, it took about 3 weeks before I actually got a notification that I got approved for this card. So what exactly do they look for with this credit card? With this credit card, this actually works more like a charge card, which is like an American Express type of card. Basically, anything that you go ahead and buy with this card, they will go ahead and withdraw the money automatically from your linked checking account every single week. And as you've been paying on time, they'll go ahead and change that to every single month. But the things that they go ahead and look for is when you go ahead and submit your pre-qualification or application for this card, they're going to go ahead and ask you for your income. Plus, they're going to want to go ahead and ask you to link your bank account so they can go ahead and see transactions on your bank account or on your bank's statements. And that's basically how they determine how much you can get approved for this card. Basically, as far as the approval goes, you can get approved for $100 up to actually $10,000 for this card. Now, I got approved for $1,000 with this card instantly, and that's really nice because they didn't even check my credit, so it did not affect my credit. Plus, they report to all 3 credit agencies. So if you're looking to go ahead and build your credit, this is actually a very nice card to go ahead and get. Plus, guys, with this card, there's a couple different perks. There is no annual fees with this card. Plus, you can actually get 2% cash back. Now, with the Tomo app, it's a very, very convenient and easy app to go ahead and use because I've been using it. You can actually tell how much you have saved up in cash back, and you can go ahead and redeem that immediately at any time and go ahead and apply that credit to your bank statement. But now let's go ahead and jump into the third card. The third card on this list that's going to be the easiest to get is going to be the Open Sky Secured Credit Card. Now here's the thing, with the Open Sky credit card, it is a secured credit card, so you do have to put down a security deposit. You can basically put down a security deposit anywhere between $200 up to $3,000 and get approved for that same credit limit. But I'll tell you guys, this is one of the easiest cards that you can go ahead and read. Now wait, did I just say red? No, this is basically one of the easiest cards to go ahead and get. Now with this card, the only downfall that I will say with this card is that this card does have an annual fees of $35. But because they report to all 3 credit bureaus, this is a nice card for anybody that wants to go ahead and rebuild their credit. And eventually, what I would recommend is after 1 year, go ahead and close the card if you want to, or because you're going to get your security deposit back, go ahead and keep using this card to keep building your credit. But at the same time, you can start getting some unsecured credit cards as well. But now just jumping into the fourth card, the fourth credit card is going to be the First Progress Secured Credit Card. Now again, this is another secured credit card, but it is one of the easiest cards to go ahead and get as well. I've done a lot of research around these guys, so this is another card that I've read decent reviews on, or I should say good reviews on, when you go ahead and compare it to a lot of the other credit cards out there. Basically, with the secured credit card, there's an annual fees as well, but their annual fees is $29. But they go ahead and report to all 3 credit bureaus as well. And with the $29 fee, it's actually not a bad fee if you want to go ahead and start building credit. But with this card, because they report to all 3 credit bureaus, you can actually go ahead and boost your credit by having this card, and they actually don't do a hard credit check. Plus guys, with this card, you can actually have a credit score of 300 to 600 and get approved. So as you can tell, that's a very low credit score to get approved for this card. And additionally, because this is a secured credit card, you do have to go ahead and put down a $200 security deposit, and you'll get a limit for that same amount, but you'll go ahead and get that security deposit refunded to you after 12 months. So that's going to be the fourth card on this list. But now jumping into the fifth card, and the fifth card I'm actually on the waiting list for, and this is going to be the X1 card. Basically, X1 is a brand new card that just came out, and if you actually go on their website, this card looks really slick. This is a card that's actually made of metal, so you can actually go on their website and actually see or hear the sound of the metal, which is that right there. So this is a card that I'm pretty excited about getting. And here's the thing, with this card, there is currently a waiting list. That's probably the only downfall with this credit card, but they don't check your credit. There is no credit check with this card. Basically, when you go ahead and apply for this credit card, they'll go ahead and ask you your annual income, and they basically go ahead and focus on that as the main thing to go ahead and get you approval for this card. Now, when you get this card, you might start off with a lower credit limit, but like I said, you don't even need to have any kind of credit. But the nice thing with this card is it also does build you credit. So they will report to all 3 credit bureaus to go ahead and boost your credit, but you don't need credit to go ahead and get approved for this card. Now, like I said, because I'm still on this waiting list, I don't have this card yet, but I will definitely make a video once I go ahead and get this card. Additionally, guys, this card has many nice perks on it as well, where you can actually get 2 times the points and up to 4 times the points on this card. And if you go on the website, they have all the different perks as far as how you get from 2x to 4x in points. And this card has no annual fees. Plus, because this card is really trying to go ahead and change the industry, because they're not looking at your credit score, I believe cards like this and more cards, that are focused around just looking at your income or looking at your bank account statements are going to be the future. And with this card, another nice perk that I read on this card is that you can actually have temporary cards that you can actually give to somebody. So let's say that I wanted to go ahead and give one of my managers, or let's say for one of my kids, wanted to go ahead and give them a card that they can use for one day and put a limit on that card. So there's going to be many different perks that are coming out with this card. This is basically the future of the credit card industry. So I really do like this card, and I will say personally, this is a very slick looking card, and I compared this to like the Apple card that has a clean finish to it. But guys, these are basically going to be the 5 easiest cards that you can actually get in 2021 if you have bad credit, no credit, delinquent credit, or even bankruptcy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what your comments are down in the description down below. But thank you guys for watching. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below for content like this, and don't forget to smash that like button, as it really does help with that YouTube mysterious algorithm. Plus, if you do want to go ahead and take advantage of a couple free stocks, Webull is sponsoring this video where you do get 4 free stocks when you go ahead and sign up with them, 2 free stocks when you go ahead and just sign up, and then additional 2 free stocks when you go ahead and deposit at least $100 in your account. It's free money at the end of the day, so why not? But thanks again guys for watching. Until next time, I'll see you guys at the next one.